Hi, everybody. It's your bartender, Yanni Hamburger here, and today we're going to talk about Sergeant Kabukiman N.Y.P.D. Yes, this is one of the most well-beloved Troma characters behind Toxie, obviously, but he shows up in just about every movie Troma's got lately, and he has one of the most iconic car wreck scenes that we'll talk about near the end of the movie. All right. So what are we talking about here? Sergeant Kabukiman is kind of a dunce as far as getting his job done with the NYPD. He's always screwing up, blah, 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 blah. Well, he gets assigned to a string of murders that involves kabuki actors. Now, he goes to the kabuki theater and witnesses thugs gun down the entire cast. Obviously, he gets up, tries to fight everybody off. Harry is forcefully kissed by one of the dying actors. Unbeknowingly, he gets powers of the kabuki. Griswold finds out he has the ability to transform into our beloved Kabuki Man as a colorfully dressed slapstick superhero who has the ability to fly. And some of his powers, yes.
High-tech super weapons, heat-seeking chopsticks, computerized 16-byte sushi, futuristic flying footwear, bulletproof gale force fans, and pyro-projectile parasol.
We forget the beautiful Lotus. As he tries to help clean up the crime-ridden streets of New York, he befriends Lotus. And he's going to stop maniacal businessman Reginald Stewart. Of course, Stewart and his goons want to fulfill the ancient prophecy that will bring the evil one and demonic powers to enslave the world. Of course, we know what happens at the end. Kabukiman saves the day, as usual. So, how did this all come to be? The Toxic Avenger was very popular in Japan. So they shot the Toxic Avenger Part 2 in Japan, and Kaufman and Hertz were approached by Tetsu Fujimura and Masaka Nakamura of Namco to create a Kabuki-themed superhero. So this really did come from the minds of the Japanese, and also Uncle Lloyd had the idea as well. Namco became a producer up front before they realized what they had signed up for. This is giving Troma $1.5 million. This is one of the most expensive Troma productions that's ever been made. And actually, to that point, it was the most expensive film in Troma history. Now, of course, creative differences always come in because Namco finally figured out what they had signed up for. Yeah. They wanted a mainstream, accessible film geared towards kids, which is, Ultraman, maybe even some of the Kung Fu movies you could think of as well. But, of course, Uncle Lloyd wanted the Troma-esque sex and violence. And in the end, Kaufman got his way, and Kabukiman was turned into an R-rated comedy in the vein of a Troma film. Now, there is a PG-13 cut, which I've never seen because I don't really like the PG-13 cut of any movie that's rated R. It's not going to lie to you. Now, the investors were thoroughly dissatisfied with that. The distribution deals were off the table, but it was a PG-13 cut that would be seen in theaters. Although Kaufman screamed Kabukiman at cons for several years, the movie didn't even get distribution until 1996. So you're talking about a movie that came out in 1990. So it took 6 years for any distribution to even come out. Now, obviously, we have to talk about it because it is one of the most iconic scenes in Troma history. And that is the car. there is an homage to the car flip in just about every single Troma film that comes after. It's best known for the car chase scene midway through the film where several carloads of gangsters chase Griswold. Of course, he's wearing a clown costume through the streets of Jersey City, which climaxes when one of the cars, a blue sedan, strikes another vehicle and flips upside down 30 feet in the air, lands, and then explodes. 5 years later, the same footage was used in a scene in Romeo and Juliet. It's not only cost effective, but Kabukiman had yet to be widely distributed on video, and it was a way to advertise the movie. Despite the continuity flaws, Troma just kept putting the same footage into the films, kind of as an homage. You saw it in Terra Firma, Citizen Toxie, Return to Nukem High, and Poultrygeist. Yes. Now, there was a thought for an animated series, but it never really got into anything. Although, Troma did end up with Toxic Crusaders as their animated series. Now, there's been talk, obviously, of a sequel. It started production in 2006, but it was never finished. And now it's basically been shelved for a long time. He thinks that Uncle Lloyd does think that he'll have a larger role in Toxic Twins, which will be the Toxic Avenger 5. He's also appeared in the We Are Made of Stars music video, which was done by Moby with the Toxic Avenger, signing an autograph for Lily Sobieski. So that is Sergeant Kabukiman. Yes. One of my favorite films. I know it's probably one of yours as well. And until next time, konnichiwa.